And we go 1, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Scott Lentz. Hi, I'm Andrew Bailey. This is what we do.
So I'm Scott, you're Andrew.
Yeah.
Is that okay? I'll be Scott, you be Andrew. My name is Scott Lentz. I am an independent filmmaker from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I'm Andrew Bailey, also an independent filmmaker from the Philadelphia area.
We actually met in college at Penn State University. I had started in my sophomore year. I started a film club as kind of a way to get some funding for some film projects that I wanted to do. We started out, I think the first meeting we ever had of the film club, there about 30 people showed up, and then the second meeting we had about 4. It was either everybody thought that we were just going to give them money to do their own stuff, or they just weren't interested in actually doing any work. They just wanted to come and be like, hey, this is cool. It was really until Andrew came aboard that it really kind of took shape, because he was the only person that really, and we were both kind of at that stage where we knew we wanted to do this, but we really had no idea how to go about doing it. Like, we had ideas, but we didn't really know, we had no idea what the process was of making a film. So it was really more learning than anything of, you know, getting a script together and getting into production.
Yeah, right when I got in college, I kind of was just starving to get into the film, into filmmaking, and Scott was the first person I met, and the most passionate person I've ever met that has done filmmaking, and we hit it off right away, and we decided, just let's do it. Let's do this thing. Let's get a crew, and let's make a movie. First film that me and Scott ever worked on in the film club was called Wasteland. It was this horrible story about college students, you know, meshing and it was using a whole bunch of stereotypes, but it was, you know, we tried to write it together and
tried to please everybody that was in the club at the time who wanted their own creative input into it. And so we decided, we sat in a room, we tried to write the entire script together, and it was a lot of arguing and a lot of nothing, and it just turned out to be just crap.
The next project we did was actually called The LaPaul Murders. We thought it was better that, you know, one person writes it, start from there, and you have a base. The story's written already, and you film it.
We shot in a place called Grings Mill. It's in Reading, Pennsylvania, and it's a beautiful park. And we actually went there, the two of us, we took the camera and we actually shot B-roll footage that ended up making it into the movie. But the entire time we were there, we were looking at things. We were actually sitting there, you know, talking about, you know, what we wanted from the movie. And I think that's kind of where we found how we work together and you know, create our own films, and where we come up with all of our storylines. I mean, the funny story really comes to when we actually filmed it. Due to time constraints, we had to film it, I think it was the coldest day that year. It was about -1, -2, and we were out there for about a solid 8 hours. And I actually acted in that one. Our lips were numb, and we couldn't think of our lines. And I wasn't even there for the second day of filming. You guys went out and did it again. You know, we look back on it and we're like, why did we ever decide to film this on this day at this time? But there we go. The way we came up with Guys with Girl Problems, I think any guy can attest to. You know, there are just some stories when you're younger and you're, you know, trying to date different girls. Sometimes when you look back on it after a little while, it becomes some of the funniest things that you can ever think of.
It's kind of like a series that should have always been made. Like, what guy doesn't have girl problems? It's basically all the show is about. Like, it goes from one scene to another where each character has its own set of problems.
And it comes from a lot of different conversations that we've had over the years, different things in college and girl issues that we've had. It's been told 1,000 times, but never quite so eloquently as in Guys with Girl Problems, the television series. The next project that we're working on is called 903. My first real short film that I directed. I've done more television-oriented type projects before, like Guys with Girl Problems. 903, I'm starting to go into more standalone stories. I think it turned out really, really well. It's very basic. There's only one actor in the entire thing. Very straightforward.
One actor, no dialogue.
Just
voiceover.
He has no dialogue. It's just all voiceover, inner monologue. I think it played out very, very well.
We're really excited about it because it looks exactly like what Scott had envisioned to start with. Right. Totally translated to the screen, and it looks great. Next up after that, we have a movie that I'm directing called The Long Goodbye, about a guy whose brother died about a year ago, and it's his job to now clean all of his brother's stuff out of the parents' house, and it's just kind of his emotional journey of having to deal with rehashing all these emotions again. And I think it's gonna be a good story. The biggest benefit of working in indie film is just being able to do your own stuff, have your own ideas, go wherever you want to go with the project, and let it go there. I just love the freedom of it.
I definitely agree. I think the benefit of indie filmmaking over Hollywood is just you have creative freedom. And my philosophy is I like to make a film that I would enjoy watching.
Yeah,
I feel
much
like
more
if you-
rewarding.
Yeah, if you can't do that, then nobody else is going to enjoy it either. Everything that we're doing right now and what we're going to do in the future can be found on our Production Studios Facebook page. Production Studios called Outlaw Studios, facebook.com/Outlaw Studios. It has everything, included with Guys with Real Problems and the Paul Murders and 903, moving into Long Goodbye. We're going to be moving into many more projects. So, getting involved and finding out more about it is, it's easy as going on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You do it every day.